day, man, we all know how dirty some divorces are, right? We all know how dirty some divorces are, and we all know the other side will use anything to make you look bad. Like, I've never been through a divorce. Some of you might be watching this like, I don't get many viewers, and I'm very thankful for my viewers. All three of y'all, man. That was a Birdman reference. But yeah, like, we all know like how dirty it is. Like I said, I've never been through a divorce, but I've seen divorce happen, like with families, some friends, and we've all seen like documentaries, movies. I've seen interviews with divorce attorneys, and the stuff they say is insane. Like, your whole life is like under a magnifying glass. So you have to be careful with what you say. So UFC 292, right? Neil Magny versus Ian Garry. We all know what's been going on with Ian Garry. He's been in the news for the last 2 weeks, right? So UFC 292, Neil Magny, which is a stand-up guy, right? Like if you see his interviews, like the way he's a stand-up guy, right? He said something at the press conference which he regrets. He even says it, like, I made a mistake. Now, most people that saw that knew what he means. Like, when I saw that, I didn't think anything of it. But when I saw that, I'm like, damn, dog, what year is it? 2023? They're gonna take this and run with it and paint a bad picture, man. If he said that like 10, 15 years ago, no one would have said anything. But you gotta watch what you say, bro. That's all it is. You gotta watch what you say. Times are different now. Now, Ian Garry took what he said and literally ran with it and made him look like a child, you know what. Listen to what Neil Magny had to say, what he went through after that, man. Check this out, and then after that, I'll show you what a stand-up guy Neil Magny is. And I'll show you what his response to what Ian Garry and his wife and all that stuff is his response to what they're going through now, man. Check this out, dude. Here.
Got to bring this up just because I know this was a kind of a talking point going in. I know you had sort of that quote going into the Garry fight about, I'm going to give him a whooping. And I mean, people can read the quote. You don't have to see it. You kind of wish you made a better analogy there because, listen, Neil, I've interviewed you for years. I know you're not a bad guy. I know you're not like abusing your kids or anything. But the way that was painted, did that annoy you how Garry sort of took advantage of that and kind of painted you as a child?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like it was. And I'm right back to where I was before, like taking accountability for it. Was I the one that opened my mouth and made a stupid statement? Yeah, absolutely. I can hold myself accountable for that. But majority of the people out there, I would say 99% of people out there, knew what I was saying, knew what I was getting at, would never ever consider like it would be something I'll be out there harming my kids, so to speak. But that in itself had like a lot more consequences than just like nonsense at a press conference. There was literally screenshots being taken of headlines saying that like I'm a child and I do this to my kids and that kind of thing. There were screenshots being taken and put into apps and things like that are being admissible in court where I'm literally fighting for custody of my children, so I'd be a present father for them and that kind of thing. So when it was all said and done, there was something that I said, there was something that came out very poorly on my end. The way that he chose to blow it out of proportion has some pretty significant consequences for me. And it was a lot bigger than just selling a pay-per-view, selling a fight or that kind of thing. It was literally like my children's relationship was at stake at that point. And at the end of the day, it wasn't cool. I can't sit there and brush it off. It was actual some significant consequences that came about with that statement or whatever. But at the end of the day, all I can do is hold myself accountable for the things that comes out of my mouth. I mean, I can say whatever I'm going to say, but that doesn't necessarily guarantee that people are going to take it or interpret it the way I meant it when I said it.
So were there like people looking into you, like how you deal with your children and stuff? Like it sort of sounds by everything that you just said there that like they did kind of look into it and see if like there is any abuse there, but which is terrible.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if you know much about how divorce processes work out and that kind of thing when child custody is at stake and that kind of thing. It's a lot of you and your partner, if you have childhood, you're not partners at that point. You're almost at enemies, and any little bit of anything you can get to kind of sway things within your favor, to have things work out in your benefit or whatever. Some people would choose to do that or whatever. So having these headlines and having these statements that say that like, oh, Neil beats his kids or whatever else it may be. Not a lot of people, it was directly between my partner's attorney and them choosing to take those headlines and put them in court documents to make it admissible in court where that can actually affect the relationship that my children and I have moving forward, kind of thing. So that was something I said. That was something that was very dumb on my part. The way that some media personnel chose to go about it, making that the headline, the way Ian Garry chose to go about it, making the center of conversation for press conferences and that kind of thing. I think it was very poor on their end, but at the end of the day, I can't fault anybody else for things that came out of my mouth.
Neil Magny does take accountability for it, and he's being a man about it. Yeah, I said it. I said it. It was wrong. But you guys know media, bro. And Ian Garry, man, like, he took it and ran with it. If you want to go see all those stuff that it was being said back then, like, I think this fight, UFC 292 was in August, and you go look at the what's it called? The media, the headlines and stuff, it's not a good look, dog. It's not a good look. Like I said, most normal people, dog, saw that and said, yeah, we know what he's talking about, man. Like, come on, man. But media has to make money, right? Ian Garry, right? And it was horrible that because he was going through a divorce, bro. He was going through it like it's the worst time, dog. It was like the worst timing, man. And obviously he regrets it, but you can't control media, bro. They'll say anything to get clicks, anything, make you look like the horrible person, bro. And like I said in the beginning, 10, 15 years ago, man, if you would have said that, no one would have. Like, I graduated in 2008, right? I'm 33 years old. I'm not super old and I'm not young, right? I'm like right there where it's like, damn, bro, I'm getting old. Dude, the stuff we would say back then, and that's not even too long ago, bro. Like the stuff we would say in high school and before that, or even a little after that, like we would get arrested right now. Like these types of stuff, like it's just 2023. You gotta like watch what you say, man. There's a lot of sensitive people in the world, and just everything is changed, bro. Everything is changed. If you say something, people will take it literal, bro, and it's horrible, but it is what it is, and he takes full accountability for it. And like you look at him, and you see he regrets it. He does in the beginning of this interview. He does say everything is cool now, like with his children's mother, like all the divorce and stuff with him and his children. Everything is cool, which is great. But I'm pretty sure at that time he was going through hell, man, with all that stuff, and Ian Garry had a lot to do with it, man. But check this out. Look at the difference now. Look at what Neil Magny is talking about what Ian Garry is going through right now. This is why I say this guy's a stand-up guy. I don't even need to say it. We all know Neil Magny is a stand-up guy. If you follow his career, if you watch his interviews and stuff, and like everything else, he's a stand-up guy, man. Check this out, dude.
Are you kind of paying attention to what's going on right now with him? Because a lot of fans are sort of turning on him, like along with your thing and the Jeff Neal thing. There was the post he made with Vicente Luque. He's getting baptized, and Garry makes like a comment on that. And then there's all this personal stuff as well. Have you been seeing what's going on with all that?
Yeah, I mean, I saw it, and it's been kind of hard for me to like get away from it and ignore it, kind of thing. Like I'm literally getting tagged in probably, I'm not even exaggerating, like 50 posts a day. I have literally 500 messages of people who text me about things that Ian Garry said, things he's going with. But like I said earlier, I mean, the competition aspect is what drives me the most. And even though for lack of better words, even though Garry came across being a dick during that entire process and the way he chose to carry himself, at the end of the day, he got the best of me in competition, and that's what I tend to focus on more. Going through what I just went through over the last, 11 months now, with my own personal family, my own child custody battles, my own personal things like that, I'd be kind of a hypocrite. I'd be kind of a jerk to turn around and try to kick someone while they're down, so to speak, even though he may be perceived as being a jerk. I mean, it'll be a very terrible short character on my end to kind of kick Melody down at this point, especially when there's a child at stake in the middle of all this. Like, I'm sure his dad may have said some dumb things or whatever, but I'm no different than Ian Garry. I may be a little less reserved as far as like I'm not as outspoken as he has, but I made plenty of stupid decisions that affected the way that my life has played out over the last couple of years. So for me to sit there and throw stones at somebody else for the choices they made and that kind of thing, it just wouldn't be right on my end. I mean, at the end of the day, the biggest thing it comes down to is the sport aspect of it, and that's what the focus needs to be on. It's unfortunate that he has all this extra baggage going on between his wife and everything else like that, but regardless of what happens with the two of them, they both have a child that they share together, and that child's going to need both their parents present in order for him to get the best life possible. So I hope that he's able to figure it out for the sake of his child and gets over whatever nonsense he's going through, but I'm not going to be the guy to kind of throw stones at another man, especially when a situation that could involve the children.
I don't know if most people would have been able to give the response that he gave. Like, if they were in his situation, I don't even know if I would have, dog. After the whole Ian Garry situation, the whole child stuff made him look horrible. And right after, like, he's going through a divorce, and the other side is literally using all the headlines, the stuff Ian Garry said against them to, like, child custody and stuff. That's horrible, man. You could tell he went through hell, man. But he's being a man about it. Even after that, bro. Even after that, he's being a stand-up guy and saying, hey, I'm not going to kick a man while it's down, especially when there's children involved. And a lot of kids should be looking up to this, bro. I understand he's not huge. I understand he's not flashy. But this is the type of man you got to look up to, man. And if you're a kid, man, I know it's cool looking up to the flashy ones. I know it's cool looking up to a guy that just talks a lot, man, and he understands. He made a mistake. He understands what year it is. Like I said in the beginning, man, like, if it was 10, 15 years ago, no one would have cared what he said, bro. Even now, like, most people saw that, and they're like, dog, that we know what he's saying. But there's that few people, including Ian Garry, that took advantage of that, painted a horrible picture. He was just in a horrible time situations going through the divorce, and they used it against him. I'm just glad everything is cool with Neil Magny, man, but we'll see what happens with Ian Garry, man. And this is why a lot of people that are looking at the whole Ian Garry situation, they're like, dog, we don't care. You deserve it. A lot of people are saying that. When you look at the comments, a lot of people are saying, dude, you did all that, now you're going through this, you deserve it, man. And that whole like, being a prick and stuff nowadays, like, I think that's played out, bro. People don't like it anymore. I know it sells being a heel, but there's ways of doing it, man. You don't have to look horrible. You don't have to be a prick, man. Yeah, you could talk a lot. You could talk a lot of crap and stuff. It sells, but, you know, it's just like when you go overboard, people literally hate you for it, man. Let me know what you think of this in the comments. I don't mean the world to me if you like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the noti. Thank you so much for watching.